sandwich bread loaf. I've been to multiple supermarkets and I am always disappointed with their bread loaves. They're always subpar. They don't taste good. They're dry. It's not something good that I like. And then when I actually did find a good loaf, they priced it at like $10, even $15 a loaf. So I made my own. This is a rosemary bread loaf. If you don't like rosemary, you don't have to put it, and it'll still be a perfect loaf for bread. But that's enough talking. Let's go ahead and get started. You're gonna start out by warming up 2 1/4 cups of milk to about 100 degrees. Right here I have 2 tablespoons of sugar, but we're only gonna be putting in half to it right now. Now go in there with 1 packet or 1 tablespoon of some active dry yeast. Go ahead and mix that up. Now let that sit for 10 minutes. So here I got about 3 branches of rosemary, and what we're gonna do is we're just gonna split them from its actual stem, just like that. Once you've separated your rosemary from its stem, you're gonna do a rough dice. Your rosemary should look like this once you're done dicing it up. Now just go ahead and throw that into a bowl. So now get 5 cups of bread flour, and you're only going to be throwing in half into your stand mixture bowl. Now go in there with your remaining sugar, a tablespoon of salt, your rosemary, that should be about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half. Now go in there with 3 teaspoons of some freshly grated ground black pepper. Mix all that up together. Now go ahead and attach that to your stand mixer, and if you don't have a stand mixer, you could do it with your hand. It's just gonna be a little bit more messy. Now attach your paddle attachment to it. Now go ahead and turn that on to about low speed and pour in your yeast mixture. Once that turns into like a paste, go ahead and scrape off your dough from the paddle. Go ahead now and attach your dough hook. Turn that on to low speed. Now you're gonna go in there with 2 tablespoons of some olive oil. And lastly, the remainder of your flour. So remember, it was 5 cups of bread flour. Now let that go on low speed until it starts forming a dough ball. So now after 10 minutes of mixing, you're gonna go ahead and take it out of that bowl. Go ahead and dump that onto your surface. And go ahead and knead that for about a minute or so, just to make sure we get everything incorporated properly. Go ahead and form up a ball. Now go ahead and grab an oil up bowl and plop your dough in there. Now put a towel over it and let that rise for 1 hour. After that hour is done, your dough should be double in size, looking just like that. Now go ahead and give it a left tap right in the middle. Throw your dough onto a surface. And now I have a food scale, and I'm gonna go ahead and weigh out my dough. If you don't have a food scale, just eyeball it. It's really no big difference. So there we go. This is 24 ounces and this is 24 ounces. So now, to the best of your ability, you're gonna roll this out to a rectangle. So with my hands, I'm gonna start off and making that rectangle shape before I start going in there with my roller. So once you rolled out your dough to the best of your ability to try to get it shaped like this, what you're going to do now is you're gonna roll that dough just like this. You're gonna technically make like a small log, right? So go ahead and do that. There you go. Nice little log of bread. And do that to your other piece of bread as well. So now go ahead and get a 9x5-inch loaf pan that has been oiled up, and just go ahead and place your dough right there. So once you've loaded up both of your bread loaves, you're gonna go ahead and cover that and let that rise for another hour. After that hour is up, your bread should be now double in size, looking just like that. And now you're gonna heat up your oven to 375 degrees, and you're gonna bake this for roughly 30 to 40 minutes or until it's nice and golden brown. So go ahead and bake that. They should look nice and golden brown like that once they come out the oven. And now what you're gonna do is you're gonna let these sit for 10 minutes to cool off just a slight bit. So now after a couple of minutes, go ahead and remove them from the loaf pan. And just look at how good our loaves came out. That came out to perfection. Now go ahead and grab a wire rack and place your loaves on top. And now let them cool completely. Once they've cooled down completely, look at that. Nice and fluffy. And now I'm gonna go ahead and cut some slices because we will be making a killer grilled cheese. Just look at how beautiful and fluffy those slices of bread look. This grilled cheese is gonna be amazing. So now into a hot pan, go ahead and go in there with 2 pieces of your preferred choice of bacon. So now once you're done cooking your bacon to your desired color, go ahead and transfer that onto a paper towel to drain excess oil. So now into a pan with some low heat, you're gonna go in there with some butter, and you're gonna let that melt. Once your butter has melted, go in there with 1 slice of your bread. Move that around so it could get incorporated with that butter. And now I'm gonna go ahead and go in there with 2 slices of white cheddar, my 2 pieces of bacon, and I'm gonna go ahead and top that off with 2 more slices of some Munster cheese. And I'm gonna go ahead and put a lid on it, that way it steams and melts the cheese. So now after about 30 seconds, your cheese should now be melted. Go ahead and put on your other slice of bread on top. Now take that out the pan for a couple of seconds. Throw in there some more butter. Now go ahead and put your bread back in there and toast the other side. Just look at how amazing that looks. Look at that. After a couple of seconds, your bread should be toasted. Go ahead and take that out. Now go ahead and cut into that grilled cheese. Look at that killer grilled cheese right there. Look at how amazing our grilled cheese looks. Just look at that. Now go ahead and go in there for that bite. When I tell you this rosemary bread loaf on a grilled cheese is a total game changer, it's a game changer. You will not have a grilled cheese like this. I'm gonna go ahead and I'll finish this because it tastes amazing. And there you have it, you guys. You have now made your own rosemary sandwich bread at home. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.